We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, doing a complete transition from December 19th in the dip area of white with red borders to today hitting the rip area of bright green bars. And in today's volatility, our SPY bot sent out a bull indicator at 10:10 a.m. From that moment forward, inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside. Full strength there on 42 vision, and call options went up 400% plus within an hour, guys. And as you see popping up there on the screen within the options chain, some of them went higher than that. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of our growing community of investors, receiving this clarity and edge and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So here we are with the SPY going higher and doing a complete transition. As I stated, we're going to break it all down in today's video, the key levels to watch and what I would be watching and what the inflow versus outflow is showing. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunity that was mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the home run of the day was spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on and receive this clarity and edge over the charts, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. And by joining, you'll become part of our growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the home run of the day was from our Apple bot. Our Apple bot sent out a bull indicator since 7:55 a.m. Inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside. Full strength there on 42 vision, and call options went up 150% plus within an hour, guys. And as you see popping up there on the screen, within the options chain, some went higher than that. And if you guys want to receive this clarity and edge over the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our Discord. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, doing a complete transition from the rip area back here on December 14th to multiple dip areas here in the last several days. And since the 19th, it hit a dip area, transition into dark green yesterday. And I talked about if we broke through resistance levels, we could start to see this go ahead and possibly do a complete transition. And the inflows were looking pretty close as well. For those of you coming across the channel for the first time, this is 42 vision and allows us to see the dips from the rips and the rips to the dips and where the strength and weakness lies within the charts to go ahead and maximize within the volatility. And we also use our bull and bear indicators and our inflow versus outflow as an extra layer of confirmation, which I'm going to pull up here and you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of our growing community of investors, receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, under a bull indicator since yesterday at 379, 380 area, trying to fight and hold support there. The inflows got back over, and I had stated that these outflows were getting close, but they had not crossed over. If it could come back up and switch to green, I was going to go ahead and watch. What I would watch is if it would pull upwards, and that's exactly what happened, right? And the transition continued from the dip area, confirmation with that bull indicator, held support and bounced away from it, going into today and continue with strength. And that was the first bull indicator that popped up on the 30-minute time frame since way back here on December 14th at around 403, and the consistent downward trend that we were in, right in that channel to the downside, hitting multiple dip areas and outflows dominating for most of that time. This is the highest that inflows have gone since the day that bear indicator popped up and outflows crossed back on December 14th. And so far, the highest that the inflows reached was 4.7. And based off the history of the chart, it is near some of the highest levels that it's hit before hitting up here at the 4 and also 11 area. Okay, super important to keep that in mind when it hit those highs on December 13th. It went as high as 11, and here it hit the 4s before that day in the after hours. So right now, the outflows have began again, and even though we're above it, the outflows still don't dominate. That's why things have not completely collapsed to the downside. Inflows are stronger right now and dominating over the chart. But what I would watch here is how these outflows react going into tomorrow and the rest of this week. That's going to be significant here as things continue to play out. But so far, pretty strong move here from 380s to highs up here of 387. Breaking back above 385. But a big rejection here at 386 as it's fighting to stay above it. And right now with these outflows starting, it just broke through 386 and it's in the 385 area. So significant and critical levels here. And when you look at the volatility here within the 15-minute, you could see that those inflows were really strong. They hit highs here of 4.56 and the outflows are really close to the midpoint here. If that crosses over, it could significantly impact the chart and possibly a bear indicator can pop up to cancel out this bull indicator. That's going to be very important. And what I would watch is if that bull indicator gets canceled or not. And if it crosses over, does it find support and bring itself back up like it did yesterday here in the after hours going into today's pre-market and crossing back over, and look at the strength that it had followed by a bull indicator. But if that bull indicator does not get canceled, even though there's a slight pullback because it does cross on the 15-minute, but the 30-minute is still above the midpoint and it finds support before crossing over and goes back up, that could be the setup before the next bull run, as I like to call it. But it's going to be significant to watch support and also resistance here, right? And also what's going on in the bigger picture. Well, that had not gotten a bull indicator, and today it actually did a complete transition from white with red borders to bright green, followed by that bull indicator, and the inflows finally picked up and broke through, guys. I was stating that I would watch that very carefully, and it was going to be significant if those inflows could cross back up. And once they did, followed by that 15-minute and that 30-minute pushing up with it, and a bull indicator popping up on multiple time frames, we could have seen some strength, and that's what happened. It went from the 380s, 381 area, all the way to highs here so far of 387. And we're going to zoom in here and look at what's going on here within the volatility, because double rejection here at 387, and that's no surprise between the 387 and 86 area, because that's where it rejected and fell even lower here. And when you go to the history of the chart, that's a pivotal level of where it rejected previously back in November 8th before coming back down and double bottoming right around that 373, 372 area and taking off on November 10th to the highs here of the 390s. So this is a critical level of resistance that the bulls need to break through, in my opinion. Not financial advice, but we are seeing multiple time frames that have done full transitions here. And if you go to the 4-hour and zoom out even bigger, the inflows are getting really close to the midpoint, but no bull indicator just yet. So if this rejects and comes back down with the 15-minute, the 30-minute, and the 1-hour, that is going to cancel out any strength going into the 4-hour, and this bear indicator may continue to hold true and not get canceled by a bull indicator. So I'm going to be watching that as well as this continues to play out. But right now, we've seen full transitions on the 30-minute and the 1-hour. And what are the key levels I'm watching? The first support is 385. Below that is 382 right here where it bounced off of to go higher at the beginning of the day. And then below that is 380, guys. To the upside, we want to break back above 387 to start that staircase effect and push up higher. But then above that is the 392 to 393 area. And above that level, the next level I'm watching is 395 to 397. But we want these inflows to stay above the midpoint, even though they're red. We want it to find support like it did here yesterday and then pull back up, pulling away from the midpoint and continuing to test resistance levels as it starts to break up higher and those inflows continue to show strength. Especially I'll be watching here if this bull indicator would not get canceled and continues to hold strong within the volatility. As I've stated before, my opinion, my perspective alone, not financial advice. If you look at the charts, there's been lots of volatility, and every single day, what I'm doing is I'm paying attention to the charts, looking at this volatility, because the volatility is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And within the volatility, there's plenty of opportunities to learn, grow, and find an opportunity for ourselves, right? Within those moves in either direction, like you saw today. If you zoom in on the 5-minute, things were pretty clear at the open. It got that bear indicator. The outflow slowed down. If you look at the 15-minute, no bear indicator, was still under a bull indicator. The outflows were above the midpoint here, never crossed down, switched back up to green, and back on the 5-minute, you could see that bull indicator popped up. Those outflows crossed, full strength there, and within an hour, call options went up 300, 400, 500% plus, guys. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.